Mansfield, today it's a Thursday. That means it's time to travel. And our guest and joining us in the studio today is Flight Centre General Manager Bianca Mazur. Bianca, nice to have you with us once again. It's decision time, isn't it? Because there are two things have happened or are bound to be happening. The one is, yes, it is going to get colder. And yes, the children are going to go on holiday. And so you can either freeze your butt off in South Africa, or you can get that same butt and get it moving and go to somewhere warmer. Let's investigate the warmer places, shall we? I mean, we're looking at, obviously we're looking at the islands and further north in Southern Africa.
Definitely. And it's so nice to be back, Jeremy. It's been a while, so really great to hear from everybody again. But certainly it's that time of the year again. School holidays are around and not much change with regards to where our South Africans are going on their destinations. So families still loving Mauritius. Our couples are still loving Seychelles and the Maldives. But yeah, and Zanzibar is also the top of the list for that, for some all-round travel. So definitely seeing the same coming through, same holidays for the South African market.
I've got to ask you, is there enough carrying capacity to get the amount of South Africans who are wanting to get to those sort of destinations available?
Definitely, we have seen an increase in capacity, which is great. We've got quite a few airlines that are opening up to Mauritius, South African Airways, Fly Safair, British Airways. So definitely Seychelles is flying to Seychelles. So we're definitely seeing the capacity being better, even though it's always best to book in advance to make sure that there is enough availability for those holidays. But certainly, I think it's been great to see more capacity open, and we hope it remains that way for the months to come.
Okay, let's look at them technically now, though, because you're not going to, well, you can, but it would seem a bit of a waste of money to do a 4-day holiday to Maldives, for example. I couldn't see anyone doing less than a 7-day trip to the Seychelles just because it's so mind-bogglingly beautiful. You can't seem to get yourself away from it.
Certainly, I think the longer time you have to go on leave, make use of it. I think it's a great time to get away. So we normally go on the 7-night package, but we are seeing customers extend that to 10 nights. I mean, you're all the way there, you might as well enjoy the beauties of a hotter climate than what we're currently experiencing now.
Mauritius, I would imagine, is the same sort of thing, because that and with all due respect to Mauritius, I think you would probably find that the Seychelles would be more expensive, head for head, and therefore maybe a little bit more upmarket and not as geared to the family as Mauritius would be.
Yes, Mauritius has always been our family destination, where we certainly send family holidays. It's great with the all-inclusive. I don't know if you've been, Jeremy. I know it really does help when you've got children running around and you're on an all-inclusive package. But certainly Seychelles for a bit of an upgrade. Lots of couples going through to that. So if you're not taking the children with, then I'd say Seychelles is definitely a place to experience those cocktails and make it worth your while as couples.
Now tell me about Zanzibar, because that suddenly popped up out of nowhere.
Yes, Zanzibar has certainly been our all-time favorite. Even right at the beginning when we got post-COVID, it was certainly the destination that opened up to the South African market quite sooner than Mauritius. So look, as I said, with Flight Centre, Zanzibar has always been something we advertise. The South African traveller loves it. And there's some great deals to Zanzibar. So even though Mauritius is coming in at great prices, normally you would see the Zanzibar price range, then Mauritius. It's sort of coming in with great deals on both destinations at this time. So seeing a lot of activity with customers booking those two as the most favorite destinations.
That's interesting, very interesting. You also mentioned there, or I read in one of your circulars at some stage, you were talking about the Comores.
Yes, it's not massively open. It's not something that South Africans go to all the time. But I think if you're looking for something different for those travelers that do Mauritius, have been to Seychelles, it's definitely something that customers do want to touch on, because it's a hidden gem. So why not? But it depends. That's what's in customers' price ranges for that travel.
Yeah, I remember going to the Comores. Oof.
You're
Bianca,
lucky, Jeremy. I'd love to go. Haven't been yet.
I swear it must have been about 30. I'm trying to judge it by my daughter's age. All I can tell you is, who was Miss South Africa at the time? Because she was on the island at the same time.
30 years ago, Jeremy.
Yeah, it is about 30
Africa.
years ago. Yeah. It is about 30 years ago that we were there. And it was stunning. It was very, very understated. It was really one of those where you get away and there's no one around. And the island itself was beautiful. But
Untouched.
yeah, it was untouched. So maybe it's one of those that if you are, let's call you an adventure family explorer. Maybe that's one for you to look at as well in the options that we have close by. In Southern Africa itself, are we seeing any uptake on the Zambias and the Zimbabwe's and the Botswanas and all the rest of it?
Probably regional travel's quite up there. I do think regional travel is a lot more from a business perspective, but certainly for leisure, we do look at that with Zambia. Cape Town, our local is still great. Our local destinations are still up there. So yes, we're getting a bit of a mix, but certainly I'd probably say more the domestic side is up. And then obviously our Mauritius and our Zanzibar. Thailand's also started opening up. So we're starting to see an increase in that. Obviously now that there's not so many restrictions with regards to Thailand, so they have eased that. So obviously our all loyal Thailand destination is back up there as well.
Okay, and any further detail you'd like to get, you can get from any flight center, or you can contact any flight center agent. The best way of getting hold of anybody at Flight Center, Bianca?
Yes, so we can go onto our Flight Center website. Our contact numbers there, all our store details are there. Our 086 number is there, so customers can get in touch with us. We're also available on social media, so we're available on all channels. Okay.
Flightcenter.co.za is the website to go and look at. And you need to start doing that now. In certain cases, you may have even missed the wave, or you're at the peak of the wave, because I know of a lot of friends of mine who've already booked, and they've said, well, we're banking our money, we're going, and that's it. We haven't been able to do this for 2.5 years. We are going, and we're going big. And so best if you're wanting to book at any of those destinations, best you start making your plans right now, because those school holidays look like they're a long way away. They feel like they're a long way away, but they really, really aren't, and you don't want to miss the boat on this particular one. Bianca Mazur, General Manager of Flight Center, thank you very much for joining us once again on Mansfield Today.
Thank you so much, Jeremy. Take care.
Take care as well. Bye-bye. And that's it for us for the travel diary for this week. If you've got any suggestions as to places you'd like us to take a look at and just find out more about, then you're quite welcome to. info@Mansfield Today, that's the number 2 day.co.za. Okay, that's our email address. Mansfield2, the 2 is a number, day.co.za. Until next time, cheerio bye.